I really want you to dig in on protecting your energy like right now. It's all mindset. You are in control of your mind. You're in control of what you put in your mind. You're in control of who you allow to speak in your life. Don't let anybody plant seeds of doubt or failure in your life. A lot of people will try to do that based on where they are in their lives. The number one energy that you want to avoid right now is complaining. Complaining is a release of negative energy without a resolution, and it often perpetuates negativity rather than leading to productive change. And it's harmful because if you hear someone complaining or if you complain yourself, I hear people complain and it's loud. Like it kind of has this like reverberation throughout the room when people complain. And it not only drags down your energy, but it can also affect the people around you. And it really creates this cycle of like frustration and stagnation. So you really want to avoid complaining. I had a conversation with the group once, and it was a mix of people who were, having a really great month. They were performing at a high level, and then some other folks who were not doing their best. Everything's all good. One person comes into the mix, really not having a good month. They're asked how they're doing. That's why you really want to be careful when you ask people how they're doing, because if they're not doing well, they're going to let you know, and they might start complaining. This person started to complain about where they were at the moment. And one thing I noticed from the top performer is he immediately left the conversation, turned around, and started doing his business. Mind the business that pays you. When it comes to people complaining, you really want to get out of those situations. So instead of complaining, focus on finding a solution or taking action. Okay, so ask yourself, when it comes to these situations, what can I do to change this situation? That's the best way to avoid complaining. And if you're around people that complain, politely exit the conversation. Whatever you got to do, get out of the situation as quick as possible, because people will infect you with their negative energy. Okay, so next we have projecting negative energy. You want to avoid projecting negative energy. Projecting negative energy onto others is often a reflection of our internal struggles. When we project, we push our emotions onto others, which can harm relationships. It's harmful because it creates unnecessary conflict. It can alienate people. It often damages trust and connection. I would talk about people who would only reach out to me when bad things happen to them, or they're just in a negative space and they want to be uplifted. And it's like, I only hear from you when negative things happen. And it's really tough to keep that, because now I'm getting some of your energy. I'm getting some of your doubt, some of your frustration. I know people who go through certain things that they put themselves in, and they blame others. Usually when you project negative energy, there's a lot of blame that's being placed. And I would encourage you to, before you start talking trash about people and putting out all this negative energy about where you're at, think about what you're saying. Like, practice self-awareness. Take a pause when you're feeling negative emotions and ask if it's fair to bring others into that energy. You need to acknowledge your emotions without lashing out, because it doesn't look good. It's not attractive. It's going to make you one of those people that no one wants to talk to. And maybe you're okay with that, but I believe that each of us needs all of us in some capacity. I'm not really the biggest people person, but I still embrace the opportunities to connect. The next energy that you want to avoid is dwelling on the past. So constantly revisiting the past, it can really keep you in this trapped space. You're trapped in regrets, you're trapped in what ifs, and it prevents you from living fully in the present and moving forward. I've had times in my earlier years where, I had a really good job, maybe I lost it, opportunities that didn't work out, and you could get trapped in the things that didn't work out. But it's best to move forward, because it's harmful to dwell on the past, because it leads to feelings of resentment, regret, self-doubt. It hinders your growth, and it keeps you from creating a better future. So you don't want to dwell on the past. You don't want to dwell on what happened last month. Today's a new day. Today's a new month. And you want to focus on what you can change. Don't focus on things that you can't change. What's done is done. One thing I've done to learn how to deal with dwelling on the past is focusing on mindfulness and acceptance. You have to learn from the past, but don't live it, because every day is a new day. Remind yourself that today is an opportunity that can create a new experience. When you wake up in the morning, how are you waking up? Are you waking up thinking about yesterday? Are you waking up thinking about what you might be behind on? Or are you waking up on this frequency of gratitude? When you wake up in the morning, you want to be thankful for the new day and the new experiences you can create, no matter where you're at. Okay, so we got a bonus energy to avoid for you, and that is doing things that don't matter. When you spend time on things that don't align with your goals or values, it's draining and it's unfulfilling. And it's harmful because it wastes time, it wastes energy that could be spent on things that truly matter to you. And often it's a way to avoid facing bigger issues or even tackling, bigger projects. If you want to find a miracle in your life, find out what you've been neglecting. And whatever you've been neglecting, go to work on it, complete it, finish it, okay? And then watch the miracle take place. I can tell you how many times I have put off a big project because it just seems so daunting. And now I can address it. And now there's so much confidence that can be found when you start to do things that truly matter. But you waste time when you don't work on what matters. So how do you fix this? What's the solution? Time management is a big thing, but I would say reevaluate your priorities on a regular basis. And a regular basis can be weekly, right? On Sundays, take 60 minutes to dig into your week. What's important this week? And I've learned to take it day by day, but it's still important to have some sort of framework of what's important in your life. That way you're getting from each day versus getting through each day. Reevaluate your priorities and understand what you're putting into your body and your mind. It doesn't have to be like recreational. It could be things that you're watching as well. You start letting go of those habits, you'll find that you will be able to live with greater purpose. Recapping the 4 energies to avoid. You want to avoid complaining, avoid projecting negative energy. You want to avoid dwelling on the past. And then also the bonus tip was doing things that don't matter. So I want to encourage you to, reflect on this and identify which of these energies you might want to let go of. And if there are people in your life who project these energies or who have these energies, maybe you can share this video with them. Protecting your energy and shifting your mindset, it could truly lead to a happier, more fulfilling life. And that was the whole point of this video. I really want you to dig in on protecting your energy like right now. It's all mindset. You are in control of your mind. You're in control of what you put in your mind. You're in control of who you allow to speak in your life. Don't let anybody plant seeds of doubt or failure in your life. A lot of people will try to do that based on where they are in their lives. So when you talk to people like that, I pray for them, obviously, but I also want to make sure that I'm protecting myself, right? Like, do I need to interact with people like this? Can I speak positively into their life, or are they jaded and closed off, right? If you're a leader, you don't want to just cut everybody off. People always talk about cutting people off, and it's not always that easy. There does come a time where you have to put your foot down and establish that boundary. So this guideline, it should give you a clear structure on how to manage your energy. And again, I want you to lead a more fulfilling and positive life. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like and share this with someone that may need to hear it. With that, this is your boy Freed with The Art of Being Freed. I really appreciate you coming through and listening and just hanging with me on this beautiful day. Until next time, I will see you soon. Peace.